Okay, so we're doing a deep dive today looking at some source material you brought in.
That's right. It's excerpts from an article, First Battle of Panipat and the Mughal Empire, Causes and Consequences.
Panipat, 1526. Sounds specific.
Very. And the source argues this single battle was, well, a massive turning point for the entire subcontinent.
Right, a real game changer.
Yeah.
So our mission is to unpack why was it such a big deal, according to this source?
Exactly.
Because the setup is kind of wild. You've got Ibrahim Lodi, Sultan of Delhi, huge army, very traditional.
Thousands of soldiers, elephants, the works.
And then Babur, a Timurid prince, descendant of Timur and Genghis Khan.
Right, but with a much, much smaller force.
Yeah.
Significantly smaller.
Yet, April 21st, 1526, Babur wins decisively. So the big question the source tackles, and what we want to explore, is how. How does the underdog pull that off?
Well, the source points to a few things stacking up. First off, the Delhi Sultanate under Lodi, it wasn't exactly stable.
Okay. Internal problems.
Yeah, big time. The article mentions he was unpopular, suspicious of his own nobles, lots of internal strife weakening him before Babur even showed up.
The foundations were shaky already. And Babur's arrival wasn't just random ambition.
Oh, the ambition was definitely there. The source highlights that he'd lost his ancestral lands in Central Asia.
Right, Samarkand.
Exactly. And he saw India, Hindustan, as his chance to build something new, something lasting.
But get this, he was also invited.
Kind of. Yeah. The source mentions disgruntled Indian nobles like Daulat Khan Lodi, who was the governor of Punjab, and Alam Khan. They actually reached out to Babur.
No way. Why?
They hoped to use him against Ibrahim Lodi, probably for their own power plays. It didn't quite work out how they planned.
That's a massive miscalculation on their part. But okay, politics aside, the source really emphasizes the military angle, doesn't it?
Absolutely. This is where it gets really interesting. It wasn't just numbers versus numbers. It was old versus new.
New tech.
Gunpowder. Babur had field artillery, cannons, and matchlock muskets. Technology and tactics he'd picked up from the Ottomans, who were masters of it.
And Lodi was still using?
The traditional stuff. Massed infantry, cavalry charges, and famously, war elephants.
Which I imagine didn't react well to cannon fire?
The source suggests exactly that. Terrified them. Useless, even dangerous to their own side. But it wasn't just the guns, it was how Babur used them.
Tactics matter.
Hugely. The article details two key tactics, Tulguma and Aroba.
Tulguma, that's the flanking thing, sending troops around the sides.
Yeah, to encircle the enemy. And Araba was using carts, hundreds of them, chained together.
Like a mobile fortress.
Pretty much. A protected line for his cannons and musketeers right in the center. Lodi's army just couldn't break through it effectively. It was like revolutionary for warfare in India.
So superior tech and brilliant tactics. That combination overcame the numbers.
That's the core argument in the source, yeah.
Okay, so Babur wins Panipat. What does the source say happens next? The consequences.
Well, immediate and huge. First, the end of the Delhi Sultanate and the Lodi dynasty. Ibrahim Lodi himself died in the battle.
Wow. Right there on the field.
Yep. And Babur takes control of Delhi and Agra, the key cities. This is the moment, according to the source, that the Mughal Empire is effectively established.
And that empire lasted for, over 300 years? Until 1857.
Incredible, isn't it? All stemming from this one victory.
What else? Did it change warfare beyond just this battle?
Oh, definitely. The source stresses that Panipat demonstrated the power of gunpowder so effectively that other Indian rulers had to take notice.
Adapt or perish, basically.
Pretty much. They had to start incorporating firearms and cannons into their own armies to compete. It shifted the whole military landscape.
And politically. A huge power shift, obviously.
Absolutely. From the Afghan Lotus to the Turco-Mongol Mughals, a new dynasty, a new elite taking charge in North India. The source also mentions the longer-term cultural synthesis that came with Mughal rule.
Though it wasn't instantly secure. Right. The source mentions other battles.
Good point. Yeah, it notes Babur still had to fight to consolidate his rule, like the Battle of Kanwa against the Rajputs soon after. Panipat was the crucial opening, but not the final word immediately.
Okay, so summing up the source material then. Panipat wasn't just a battle, it was a turning point. Politically, militarily, even culturally down the line.
Exactly. It shows how a combination of factors, an existing power's weakness, one leader's driving ambition, a leap in military technology, and clever tactics can just completely change the course of history for a whole region.
It really makes you think. Looking at what these sources lay out, the weakness, the ambition, the tactics, all coming together. What does that tell you, maybe, about the forces that can still drive really big, sudden changes in the world today?
Yeah.
Something to consider.